Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the Basement Monsters podcast. I'm Ivan Vargas with my boy Luke Nettles. Halftime, Bucks and the Broncos, and it doesn't look like it's close.
We call it. I mean, it's to be expected. I mean, the Broncos without Drew Lock. I mean, it's really that's one thing I really didn't like about it. It's like Drew Lock going down. So I really want to see him click with Noah Fant.
Right.
And now they got Jerry Jeudy. Like I would love to see that gel. And like to see what those three can do. You got Melvin Gordon, change of pace, and Lindsey. I'm not sure. Is he playing today?
I don't think Lindsey's playing today.
Anyway, so you got the two backs, you got the tight end, you got Jeudy out there, you still got everybody else. It's just unfortunate that the lock went down, and now they're playing with some second stringers. I mean they're still. I mean they're still there. What is it? It's 23-10. I mean it's.
It's close.
We saw another big comeback today, but I don't really want to get in on that.
You do want to get in on that a little bit, but let's keep it with the Bucks. Let's keep it with the Bucks.
Well, with the Bucks thing, I can say thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Helping us out. Now what we need is your boy Rodgers to help us out a little bit more, and we'll see what's up. I mean, it's the Bucks. Fournette, not really showing up today, but Brady has spread the ball. He's been efficient. He's doing everything you could probably pretty much ask.
Right.
Let's just look at his stats right quick. So you're looking at Brady right now with 15 of 24, 166, 3 TDs, no picks.
No picks.
You can't be mad. Rushing, Jones 24. This is where we're lacking. Fournette only 7.
See that's what gets me is Fournette. You got Fournette to be that workhorse, to be that dog. Why aren't you utilizing him like
Here's
that?
the thing, and this is my theory on that. It's like, so you went off on the offseason, right? You got
right.
I'm sure the number one goal in practice, don't let him get hit. So, I think that they built that to protect Tom Brady.
Right.
Fournette just got there. It's only been like 2-3 weeks, whatever. So let's give him a little bit of credit. He had a huge game last week. Today, not so much. But here's the other positive. Scotty Miller, 57 yards. O.J. Howard, 38. Gronkowski, 31. Chris Godwin, 26. I mean, they are spreading the ball around as much as you probably, you would love this on any other team, on any other offense. Like I said, I just like to see Lock and Fant. I like those. I think those guys are great. I think that would be a great, matchup. Make it a little bit better, a little closer.
But what did you want them to start establishing that run game? What did you want them to start? Because I get Rojo, and Fournette. Right. You want that. You want to start going downhill. And granted, they have a lead, but they're not running downhill like we thought they were going to get off.
That goes back to my thing we were talking about earlier. I think that's going to come. You know what I'm saying? I think it's just been, hey, we got Tom Brady. Let's keep him on his feet. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's protect him first. And then we'll figure out the run game. You know what I mean? And I think that makes sense because, you're going to push the ball farther down the field with him throwing than you are, not every day is Fournette going to rip out a 47-yard run.
Right, but we've seen back-to-back weeks where Fournette is in, he's in single-digit carries but also single-digit rushing yards.
Well, no, it was the first week he was down. Last week against Carolina.
Right.
Now he's back down again. But like I said, I think a lot of that has to do with the offensive line and the schemes and the protections and stuff like that. I think this is what the scariest thing is. It's like Tampa is only going to get more comfortable.
Right.
Brady, with everybody. Everybody start because Fournette just came over last second. Once those guys start getting comfortable and understanding more and start having timing and rhythm
with Brady,
I think it's going to be a good explosion.
Okay, we talked about Gronk though. Like with the tight end position, we mentioned Gronk because Gronk is more of a blocking tight end now. Why? Like I want to say, like it makes sense, but like if you brought Gronk in because of the trust of Brady only to block, then the trust of Brady in the passing game is not there, so it's nullified. So so you're pretty much like Like what are you here for?
No, I think it makes total sense in the respect of that. The line is not the Patriots line. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a Tampa Bay line that was not built like the Patriots line for it. So you bring Gronk in to cover that backside, Brady's backside. You got an extra blocker out there, so he's not getting smoked from behind. If you take Gronk, like, let's say if it was just O.J. Howard, you're not going to have the same protections.
Right.
Say Gronkowski, I think, understood and knows his role. This is not the Patriots part 2. Because, let's say Patriots, you had Brady and you had Gronk. The receivers were a revolving door. You know what I'm saying? Like, you always had that revolving door. Brady and Gronk were the staples. Now, you have 2 1,000-yard receivers on either side. Gronk is not going to get a lot of those balls.
No, he's not.
The great thing is, they can almost lull you to sleep and let him continue to block and boom, and the next thing you know,
boom, you're gone. Boom, you're gone. We're going to go ahead and jump to our boy Brandon Suarez from the On Tap Sportsnet. He was over there. I'm sure he had the post game with On Tap. He's covering. I want to go ahead and hit the end of the Bears game with him, and then some of the around the league action as well. Brandon, bro, what it is, man? How about that? You had the rally cap on.
We're back.
I wasn't prepared. You were prepared. I kowtowed to you, sir. You were ready for the rally.
Bro, so thoughts and prayers to Mitchell Trubisky. Good luck to you in whatever your next endeavor is. It is now the Nick Foles era in Chicago.
Amen.
And we got to support him. So at this point, like, it's tough to see Mitch go out like that. I think if Mitch makes that completion in the first half, we're probably not having this conversation right now. I think he is given at least another chance from that aspect. But Nick Foles played his heart out, man. He left it all out there on the field. Obviously, the interception was – I don't know what the odds of seeing that same type of interception with Allen Robinson 2 weeks in a row are, but it happened. It was unfortunate. It was a beautifully placed ball. Allen just wasn't able to pull away with it. And then, two, I don't know if you guys saw, but Tariq Cohen ACL. So
I knew it when he went to. I knew it when he started limping off. I knew it when we saw the replay.
It was very bad, and there was a lot of, and you never want to leave the game up to the referees. You can never leave the game up to the referees. But one thing I will say is, like, there was a lot of funky calls today. Like we talked about, in the first half with the inertia reference. That. I know the catches, like the Miller catch definitely wasn't a catch. Robinson fumbled the ball, or not fumbled. Well, he just kind of juggled it or whatever, I guess you would say. But they left so many opportunities on the board. They could have scored like 50 points that game. And it's frustrating that we have to win like this. But at the end of the day, 3-0 is 3-0. And if you look at it realistically, we got 13 games left. We got to win about 7 of those. The Bears have a very realistic shot of going to the playoffs and winning this division.
Dude, and you know what? I was so nervous. Like, I was just like, what's going to happen now? Because we saw Nick Foles, right? And really, Nick threw 5 touchdown passes. I don't know if you wanna, because for me, and me and Luke me, him, and Darius, we had an issue with it because the way we see it at the point of Allen going up to get the ball, he makes contact with the ball and he has possession. Coming down, the arm is in between Allen's body and the ball with possession in his hands.
Yes.
Coming down with it, Allen lands on his arm, still has possession. Like, in my opinion, from the knowledge I know of the ruling, he comes down on his shoulder, which is possession. Then when he rolls over, the ball is stripped.
Yeah. But
what do you think about that play call or that ruling?
Yeah, ruling. So my thing when I watched the replay, what I was really looking for is if when Allen Robinson caught the ball, if he was down on the ground, but it appeared that he rolled over, he landed on the guy. So if he was down, not landing on the DB, that call might have gone the other way, but it was that was when that got overturned, and then when the Miller call got overturned, I'm like, damn, we really are going to lose this game. And then the Falcons just don't know how to kill a clock. The first drive that they had, they took 13 seconds off the clock and went 3 and out. And then, the rest is history. But one thing I did hear, Mitch did talk to the public or to the media after the game. Bill Lazor was the one who told him he wasn't going to be going back into the game. I really don't like that move by our head coach, and I really hope that, you know, throughout the years we've seen that the Bears have not had a bad apple since Martellus Bennett, per se, and for Matt Nagy,
Martellus was more outspoken than a bad apple. He was
exactly,
just, you know.
So for Nagy to be the, you know, the team guy that he preaches to be and the leader that he preaches to be, I think man to man, dude, you got to go up to your quarterback and tell him, like, look, that was an awful interception. It extremely lowers our chances of being able to make this a football game. We got to go with Nick Foles. So it was tough, and they kept panning over to Mitch on the sideline, and I'm like, oh my God, poor guy. But I mean, he did it to himself. I think the leash was a little. I mean, today I did not. If you were to tell me this morning, or like, you know, go on the show and say, if Mitch messes up today, we're going to Nick Foles, I would have called you crazy. Even after the pick, my buddies were all like, yeah, like they're gonna like put in Nick Foles, like just saying it, and I'm like, I don't think it's the right time.
Right, and you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and defer to Luke, because he called, like, he said it when it happened.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think there's like a good thing, bad thing that kind of happened with the Bears today. I mean, it's never good that a player goes out of the game. So I just want to establish that first and foremost. But I think with Tariq Cohen going out, and if Mitch stayed in, who knows? I mean, who knows? Mitch may have done this. Mitch may have came back. You don't know, because you didn't play him the second half. You don't know.
And he did it. He did it once.
There's the question mark there.
Right.
You know, we know Atlanta's defense is, you know, basically the Salvation Army. They play for charity. You know, it is what it is. You know, Nick Foles, of course. You know, this is. I don't know. The Bears are just in this weird situation now. This is what we've been talking about. Is just like, you know, you said it in the preseason, if there was one, training camp, whatever, it was kind of 50-50. I heard some rumors that, you know, some of the players are more backing Foles as opposed to Mitch. But, you know, I feel like the Bears is like, I feel like Nagy did the Caskey, hey, this is the boy we drafted, let's do it. And I feel like now really what happened today was that, hey, listen, we've done it your way for now 2.5 games.
Right. 2.5 years.
Well, I'm going to say just this season. Just this season. We did it your way, because we just got Nick Foles this year. We did it your way for 2.5 games, and this is what happened. We're down. I'm playing to win the game. Credit to Nagy for doing it. But like I said, it's just a slippery slope. Let's say Nick Foles loses this game.
Right.
Then what's that press? What's that press conference like?
And to elaborate, just before we get to you, Brandon, if we felt like, why now? You know what I mean? Why right now? The game was still 16 points. He threw a pick, but the defense held. And then we saw Nick Foles, and I'm like, okay, you know, like you said, you believe in the guy, through thick and thin. So he read the defense wrong. For the first time in the game, he read the defense wrong and threw a bad pass. Then you go ahead and bring Nick Foles. My whole thing is that I honestly think, regardless of how it looks for Matt Nagy, I think he protected himself by starting Mitch from the get-go, because he knew if it goes out bad and Nick wins and does this, what he did out here, it benefits Nagy. It benefits Nagy. It benefits his offense. It benefits what he wants to do going forward. So now you could go ahead and say, hey, look what Nick did.
This is my guy.
This is my guy.
And the thing is, too, is like Nick Foles is like so calm, cool, and collected, bro. Like, when you wouldn't tell he was down 2-3 possessions going into that game. Like, you couldn't tell.
Nope.
He came in. They kind of gave him the training wheels for the first drive or two, which is expected because you can't really just throw everything at him right away, you know, coming in fresh off the bench, which is another thing. And
why did you – I'm sorry to interrupt, but why did you think that was? And because, like – and I asked that, like, why they were just, like, baby stepping it. So Nick Foles knows the offense, right? That's why he brought him in. He knows the offense. He's used to it. But you didn't go ahead and from the get-go go out like on firing on all cylinders, go with Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah.
Then you went ahead and you know still with Nick Foles ran this molasses-ass offense, and then all of a sudden once you realize, oh hey, the guy missed on 2 touchdowns, let's start picking it up.
Yeah, let's keep going. Yeah, and honestly, dude, the beginning of the game, the offense looked fine. they really kind of bottomed out in that second quarter, and they couldn't finish drives. And then obviously you have the missed field goal, which doesn't help. But I look at today in two ways: half glass full, half glass empty. And the way I'm looking at the situation at hand was it's 50-50 for me. It was the right call and it wasn't the right call, because from my perspective, it's the right call. It went out and it won you the football game. You found a way to get it done. But like you said, we don't know if Mitch could have done that too. He did it against Detroit. He didn't have he definitely should have had a way better game. I'm not, sitting here and going to stand up for someone that just got benched and will probably never play another down for the Chicago Bears, barring any injury. But the way it happened, like you said, we're down. We're still kind of in the game, but I just feel like that was like a very quick leash. Like it was so quick, that one interception, one bad read, and it was over with for him. And then in essence, like I said, it was good to do it, because now we really saw pressure either makes diamonds or burst pipes. And Nick Foles is a diamond, diamond in the rough. He succeeded everywhere, and he may not be the most aesthetically beautiful passer. He threw a couple ducks. That one pass that I don't remember. I think it was Graham that caught it. He threw it over 4 dudes. My heart was
it went through Keanu Neal's hands, and it went right into Jimmy Graham. It looked like he just threw his hands up and was like, if it comes, it comes, and it's boop.
That ball was in the air forever. I think. Go ahead.
Well, I'm saying, but also the greatest thing too, I think also is I don't know if it's a disconnect between Mitch and him, but it seemed like Foles and Graham were on the same page.
Yeah, yes. It did.
Yeah, and this is an offense that's predicated on how we're able to use the tight ends. I mean, I know, Ivan, we've had very high expectations for Cole Kmet, and they just haven't really found a way to integrate him into the offense.
I'll tell you this, Brandon. This guy right here has been saying it throughout. With our promotion of Cole Kmet and how we wanted him to get drafted. He got drafted. We wanted him to be used in this offense because we think he could stretch the field. We think he'd be that. We think he'd be that playmaking tight end like a Jimmy Graham in his Saints years. But you're not using him.
Exactly.
I haven't seen him.
They've been using Harris more.
What's that? Go ahead.
They've been using Harris more, and I honestly think he looked pretty good today. But, dude, we've seen him do crazy things on the football field. I don't understand how he hasn't found a way to get involved, at least from, a touching the ball perspective. He's been doing really well in blocking, and you would hope so with the size that he is. But just, honestly, shout out to our offense today, because like you guys said, I mean, the Tariq Cohen thing was kind of BS. No flag, too, and it's what are we doing? That's kind of a low blow. And
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. You got to shout out the defense too, though.
Oh yeah.
You did when towards the end of that first half. I don't remember what had happened, but something happens, a foul or something, and in the background you could literally see the Bears players
Oh, it was right before they ran it in. It was right before they ran it in. The Khalil Mack sack fumble that got negated by Edwards. By Edwards' penalty,
which was unreal.
That is one, and our boy Darius was here, and he's the one that really said he's like they're coming. He's like they're coming, they're turning it up. He's like they're coming. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, you're right, dude. They're starting to turn it up on the defensive line, and they're starting to bring pressure. And I think that was a turning point, regardless of them giving the touchdown up or not.
Yeah, I think that was definitely I think it was the last 4 minutes of the second quarter where it was we had the chance to tie the game. Obviously, Mitch missed that throw. But, to be able to, again, limit the time the Falcons have the ball. They had the ball for very little time after we scored, and then we got the ball back with the opportunity to score because, the Falcons got the ball to start the second half. So, obviously, we saw what happened with that. They really didn't have an answer for Todd Gurley or whoever the hell the other running back was. I have no idea who it was, and I know.
It was Hill.
Yeah, Hill, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah,
where's he from? Edo Smith didn't play today.
Well, no. I think he played, but he didn't touch the ball very much, or he wasn't even a part of it. Hill, yeah. I don't know where.
Hill was the guy. Hill got the touchdown, and Gurley was pretty much the main back.
Right.
Yeah, and then honestly, everyone that made a play down the stretch to win this game had a very colossal mess up that landed us in the position that we were. For example, Tashawn Gibson going out and getting that interception to seal the deal. definitely making up for the dropped bag earlier and a couple of other plays in the game. And then too, like I said, like that's Miller's second walk-off touchdown this year, and he dropped a big one. They panned over to him on the sideline when they were reviewing it, and it was like, whoa.
Brandon. So, and this is my point out. 3 weeks in a row, right? 3 weeks in a row to Anthony Miller, right? I'm gonna go with week 1. There was a play in the game right before Mitch went to Javon Wims for the touchdown, where it looked like Mitch went to the corner, but Anthony Miller was running a seam route.
Yeah.
And then there was one in the Giants game, obviously, that was a dime, the best pass that we seen Mitch throw. He drops that, and it was right in the money. And then we come to today. He's
going to use his hands more, bro. He tries to body catch some of them. One thing I want to say, though, I know this was an incomplete and an out-of-bounds pass, but that pass that Mitch had in the first half where he, I know, like I said, it was incomplete and out of bounds. He still dropped that thing in the bucket. That was a very nice pass. And I honestly thought, I don't know. I guess I'm ignorant, or I don't know what word I would properly use for being all in on Mitch, but I really thought that this game had the potential for him to really go out there and put a stamp on this season, because right now it's you have to look at it like this. There's only 32 NFL starting quarterbacks, and you just put yourself in the carousel with the Marcus Mariotas of the world, the Jameis Winstons, the Taysom Hills. You are now going to have to fight and claw and scratch to even be on the roster, and you don't know when your next opportunity will come. That's one thing that I think that sucks. That definitely sucks for Mitch. But again, it is what it is, and now it's Nick Foles' time. So we just got to rock with Nick.
Yep.
I'll say probably the best thing that came out of everything. I mean, yes, they got the win. So Minnesota loses.
Mm-hmm.
Green Bay has the tip. They could lose against the Saints.
They could lose, yeah. The Saints are
really be sitting 3-0, king of the crop.
And isn't that just our luck? I'll take it. I'm taking it.
But it's yours to defend.
And but I'm taking it because of this. You, regardless of what of yourself, you're 3-0. Now you know exactly where your faults are. Everything about all the faults for the Bears have been exposed, regardless of them winning. You know what I'm saying? They have won in spite of themselves. So for me, going into this next game against the Colts, I could see us losing against the Colts, but I need to see something different. I need to see a change. Now, I see something in Nick Foles that we all said that we didn't see in Mitch. He just knows what to do. He just knows what to do.
I think realistically with Mitch, his best shot is to just kind of go to do what Jameis did this year. Go and learn from some real quality quarterback. Take some time. Take a $2 million doo-doo deal and just go and learn and try and hone your craft, because obviously we want to see the kid be successful, but it is what it is. And now too, with the running game, you're going to see a lot more Cordero Patterson. And I love me some Ryan Nall, but we've never actually had to see Ryan Nall outside of those first 4 preseason games and spot starts and spot carries. So again, another big opportunity for a guy that it's very hard not to root for, someone that's been a practice squad body, someone who has been cut several times by the team, but he keeps fighting. And now, unfortunately with the Tariq Cohen injury, he's going to be in there. And then now too, I know Allen Robinson had a couple plays that could have been better, but again, if he doesn't play the way he did today, we're not winning that game. And now too, after seeing the Tariq Cohen injury, that deal better be done yesterday, because now look at that dude. Cohen got paid like a thief in the night. No one knew it was going to happen. Robinson's been asking for the money. He's going to have to go down on his number, but God forbid something happens to him in the Earl Thomas fashion where he gets hurt and we didn't pay him, he will never come back. So you got to think about it like that. You just got to get it done.
Got to get it done. Brandon, man, thank you for coming on short notice and everything, bro. Let everybody know where they can find you online.
Yeah, you can follow my crazy heart attack Bears game tweets at BDon300. And then you can also follow all of our Bears coverage at Bears on Tap. We do pre-games and post-games every week. And then we also do like an injury report episode on Friday. But other than that, I mean, enjoy the victory, 3-0 on to Indianapolis. Let's make it 4-0 because week 5 head-to-head mano-a-mano against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's going to be a very fun episode on the show.
Oh, it's gonna be intense. If you guys didn't know, like I said, Luke's the Bucs fan.
Yeah, Luke's the Bucs fan.
And hey, it's time for some payback because last time we played at Soldier Field, it was like 45-0.
Yeah, Mitch threw a 6-piece on you.
That was Mitch's best game ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's everybody's best game against Tampa Bay.
Brandon, brother, thank you so much. We'll see you later, bro.
Yeah, appreciate it. Bear down, guys. Thank you.
Bear down. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna go ahead and get into the second half of Luke's game. Man, dude, like I said, it's weird. It's just weird. I think you're right. Like you're in a position where Nick has to succeed now.
Yeah, because if he doesn't, I mean, like it's basically like if he doesn't succeed and you're not trusting Mitch, then I mean, at that point, in like the public's eyes, it just looks like you did this.
Yeah,
like you just throwing your hands.
Yeah, why not?
I don't know what. I'm doing.
It's a why not move.
And at that point, to me, it's time to move on, Matt Nagy.
Oh,
I'm
no
sorry.
doubt.
Like if you have 2 quarterbacks, and like I said, I feel like it is. McCaskey's like, no, play our boy first. And then now he's like, hey, this is my boy. We got Nick Foles over here. So if Nick does take off, then hey, the Trubisky draft pick will kind of quietly fade off.
It will, but it won't. It will, but it won't.
If it fails, it's going to be.
I think it will. I think it will, but it won't. But you know what? 3-0. The 3-0, and I can't complain. Like you said, everybody took a loss. The rest of the teams took a loss besides Green Bay, who is yet to play. The Bears could be sitting at the top of the division, and I'm not going to fret on that. Let's get to the second half of the Bucs and Broncos because I'm looking forward to it. I'm Ivan Vargas. This is Luke Nettles. You've been listening to the Basement Monsters podcast on Sports Zone Chicago. We'll get back to you guys in the post. Peace.
I just heard my favorite band is in town. I'd love to get good seats, but everywhere I've looked, the ticket sites have crazy service fees.
Haven't you heard of TixSplits?
Who?
TixSplits. They don't gouge you with crazy fees. The price they advertise is the price you pay, plus a small delivery fee.
Never pay service fees again. Go to TixSplits.com today. TixSplits.com. Guaranteed seats, low prices. That's TixSplits.com. Every ticket, every venue, everywhere.